Being out in the big woods, being on lakes, and playing around in streams has just always been one of the places I've been happiest. So I'm glad we were able to get out here.
Kathleen George has always felt the call of the great outdoors.
Well, I love to just run out in the forest and look up at the huge trees.
She's never lost that feeling of awe being in the woods.
It was cathedral-like.
Now as a tribal council member for the Grand Ronde and a member of the Oregon Environmental Quality Commission, she's able to turn her love of nature into policy. She's supported her tribe's recent purchase of 23 acres of industrial land surrounding Willamette Falls in Oregon City, an historic gathering place for her people. Kathleen became the spokesperson.
Every year we return here to get our first salmon here at the falls and to give thanks to and for that salmon here on the river.
Kathleen George grew up not on the Grand Ronde Reservation, but in the Portland area, Milwaukee to be exact. That's because her tribe did not officially exist at the time, according to the federal government. It was one of several terminated by the government in 1954, under the argument that Native Americans would be better off assimilating into American life instead of being stuck out on their reservations.
They prepare for a more effective adult life.
So her mom moved from Grand Ronde to Portland. She got a job at the Oregonian newspaper, where she met an Irish immigrant who sold ads there. They got married and started their family.
You don't look necessarily like you're Native American. Do you get questioned about that or challenged on that?
Sure, there are comments, and that's fine. I know that I look like the Irish side of my family. My dad was born and raised in Dublin, Ireland, before moving here, and I look very Irish.
It is something she's learned to live with.
Yeah, it certainly does come up. People sometimes let me know, as if it hasn't occurred to me yet, that
I look more Irish than
I don't look like a traditional, what their expectations of a traditional Native American person are, but that's okay. That is what it is. I've spent my career working hard for tribes, and so I don't have any problem knowing who I am.
Kathleen attended Catholic schools in the Milwaukee area, including LaSalle Prep, and then went on to Dominican University in California. After graduation, she started looking for a job. In the meantime, the tribe had fought the government to get its identity back and won. They needed someone to help with environmental programs. Kathleen heard about the job, but was reluctant to apply.
I honestly was. At the time, I was young, 20-something. I was living in Portland. At that time, Grand Ronde seemed like it would be a long ways away.
She went for it anyway and got the job. In her early 20s, she helped set up the tribe's environmental program.
It was challenging, it really was, and especially when you're starting a new program, right? When nobody hasn't tried to answer these questions or struggle with these issues before.
She dealt with everything from water quality and salmon spawning to logging and farming practices and more. Along the way, she learned to meet and listen to people most affected by the policy.
There's a tendency of human beings to make assumptions about other people, about what they want, about why they want it. And if we have the patience to listen to one another, really listen to one another, we can often find out that some of those assumptions aren't necessarily right.
Kathleen George, council member.
It takes a certain toughness and determination to do that.
You seem very determined to me. Have you always been a determined person?
Gosh, I don't know.
Oh, come on.
My mother would say probably.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Through it all, the values she saw her parents model guided her work on the environment.
If your family likes to fish, those streams have to be healthy enough to support fish and fish that people can eat. So I think, rather than having to just say it, they demonstrated their values for these things.
The Grand Ronde tribe owns and operates the Spirit Mountain Casino. It is a huge moneymaker. And for 5 years, Kathleen worked as executive director in charge of its community fund, investing $4 to $5 million each year in local nonprofits and, of course, environmental programs.
Her culture is embedded in everything that she does, and it's really inspiring to see.
Michael Cherry now runs the fund. She used to work in VIP hospitality at the casino, but Kathleen spotted her talent and convinced Michael to apply for the job.
But I see her doing that a lot with people in general, in terms of like looking at everybody's individual strengths and saying, yeah, you know what you should consider doing, because she's really interested in seeing people thrive.
She's had a big impact.
She is an amazing ambassador of the tribe. We're very, very lucky to have her.
Yeah, it was.
Now in her late 40s, Kathleen George is married and raising 3 sons. The woman born to a unique American heritage, but who grew up in the city, found her calling and her people again on the Grand Ronde Indian Reservation and has no plans to slow down.
Serving my tribe, serving my community. That's one thread that has been pervasive throughout most of my career choices is serving tribal communities and helping them accomplish their goals.
Okay, but why?
Because I believe with certainty that the original peoples of this place, their presence is important, their identity is important, their sovereignty, meaning their ability to govern their own affairs and their people, is critical to what makes Oregon the amazing place that it is.